How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are working on the street rod today. Last video you guys saw, we got this thing home. So first turn of events that we need to do to get this thing burnout ready is getting the transmission out, getting a manual valve body in it, and getting it a little upgraded for what we're about to throw at it. We're going to throw a big blower on not a really built motor, probably get a cam in. It's just a stock 350. We're going to put a cam and put a blower on, and we're just going to spin it until it blows up. Once it blows up, we'll probably have to worry about doing something else. But for right now, we want to get the transmission built because right now it's just a stock turbo 400, and I know it will not work to do burnouts because it's just going to trying to be upshifting every time we get some RPM going, and I want to be able to keep it in probably second gear when we're going is what I'm thinking we're going to be in. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this pulled out. And I crawled under this thing earlier, and I can tell that I started building this thing when I was 10 years old because the wiring looks awful. I need a light. So as you can see, still haven't washed it yet. We really need to get it cleaned up. Sean's back there working on the Volvo. But yeah, this wiring is all intermixed with transmission lines, fuel lines, you know. I mean, what could go wrong, Sean? Transmission and fuel lines right next to the wiring.
That's nothing.
No biggie, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's something that I think I'll address that before we do the burnout comp. But as you can see, it's gonna be super easy to pull the transmission out of this. All the bolts are right here, pretty far away from the firewall. I'm gonna get the torque converter bolts pulled out, and I will probably pull the driveline out tonight. And I just got off work. It's already pretty late, so I'll probably just get some stuff done. They always say a little bit, an hour a night or whatever is more than you'll get done in a weekend. So we're gonna go ahead and find out if that theory comes true. Alright, so I need to get this bolt over here so that I can get to it. So I'm gonna get a screwdriver and rotate the flywheel over. Alright, got that one out. Alright, you want to click it over again? I had Sean unplug the coil so it won't start, and then I'm going to have him crank it over so we can get the bolts in the right spot. Go ahead. One more. Okay. Perfect. Got that portion of the driveline out. Now we're going to pull it out of the transmission, pull this cross member out of here, and we will be ready to pull the transmission. Well, got the transmission lines off. We got the cross member out of here. We got shifter. Shifter is all done. Oh, dipstick tube. We also got the dipstick tube out. So now we're on the finishing things. Just going to get these bell housing bolts. Going to pull the bell housing bolts out. Transmission should come out. Well, I was just going to work a few hours tonight, but I kind of got carried away. Pulling the transmission is super easy in this thing, so I figured just finish it all. But we got the transmission all the way pulled out. Kind of made it look like a murder scene under there. But clean that up. But we got the transmission out. Now it's time to say a little thank you to my dad for getting me a manual valve body and a trans brake. I don't need that, but it comes with the manual valve body. Some new clutches. All I gotta do is get a sprag. I want to say a big thank you to John over at Cody's Transmission. He's gonna do all the transmission work for me, and I've known him for a long time. He's got a really cool love, super fast. He just converted a small tire this year. But anyway, just want to say a big thank you to him because he's gonna help me go through this thing and freshen it up and get it ready for doing some sick burnouts. But that was kind of a quick, easy video. I will do a video when we go over to John's, and I don't know, I think that might have been too short. I don't know if I had fucking 10 minutes there.
Probably not.
Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm done tonight. I'm going to take this over to John's and have him put all the good stuff in it. Pretty excited to have some go fast parts in this thing. Alright guys, so we got the transmission, we drove that over to John's, we got that dropped off. That should be done in a week or two, or honestly I don't care, however long it takes him. I ain't complaining. He's He's doing a great deal for us. Again, guys, if you ever need any transmission work down in Texas, Cody's Transmission over in Temple, Texas is the place to go. They have the best service. They have the best customer service. John is one of the best people I even know in the universe. He's nice, caring, and no matter what, he'll get you hooked up. They do a lot of mechanic work, not just transmission. So if you need anything, go hit up John. He'll get you hooked up. We are getting the fuel system ready for a blower. So first thing we picked up, this came off of Dad's shop truck. This is the Jegs version of the Holly Black pump. So I'm pretty sure Elderbrock makes Jegs pumps. This rebranded. Anyway, we're gonna take off what looks like a fill filter. It's actually a universal electric fuel pump. You guys gotta remember, I built this when I was young, guys. It was all I can do to put any money into it, and so that's what I'm doing right now is going through upgrading the stuff that obviously needs fixed, So one of those is being a fill pump. So I got some AN fittings ordered. We are going to put this new pump in, and that should be plenty of pump to be able to power the blower. After we get the transmission back and we get that all installed, we're gonna get a new shifter. Show you guys our shifter issue, what I'm talking about. This shifter is really cool looking. A lot of people probably hate me for putting a big old hole in the dash, but it always worked. It went in and out. Obviously it's not hooked up because the transmission's on in here, but there's no lockout. If I wanted to shove that thing in reverse while I'm doing 60 down the highway, it would do it. So we're gonna pick up an actual shifter that has a lockout that I can actually shift while I am doing burnouts. Last thing I want to do when I'm doing burnouts and I'm trying to click off gears is just put it in neutral or put it in reverse or something. So I'm getting a shifter that will actually work. I can actually shift it and I'll stop in the gear that I shifted in. That's meant for performance stuff. So we're gonna be getting a shifter, and we're probably gonna wait on a blower because honestly, financially, that's just not quite in the books right now. But we're gonna get it soon, hopefully. We need to get a rear end for this thing because right now, kind of mentioned it earlier, all it has is a Dana 44. Kind of hard to see in there. All it has is a Dana 44, and it's just not strong enough. A lot of people run the front Dana 44s and the off-road stuff, but it's not gonna be strong enough for what we want. Sean has his Volvo over there. He's doing an LS swap, and he wants to put an 8.8 in that. I think we're gonna make a day of it, going to the junkyard and just getting some 8.8s. We're gonna shorten them up, get them centered, just take extra axles from each side, just do what everyone else does. They're strong. I don't need a whole big axle. Like the Trans Am's gonna have a full fabricated 9-inch. It's gonna be probably close to $5,000 in a whole rear end setup, which is ridiculous. But for what I'm gonna be doing, it's gonna be what needs to be done. But for this thing, I can go with a junkyard 8.8. It'll be strong enough. I just need it to hold up to burnouts, And so I'm gonna put a big rear gear in it, probably a 410 rear gear. We're gonna get about a 3200 stall for the transmission, and I think we should be good after that. I think we'll probably be able to do burnouts with the new rear end and the new transmission without a blower. I bet you we can do burnouts. Obviously, not as fun as with having a blower, but yeah, we're gonna get a blower eventually. But what we're gonna do is, I haven't even really showed that. That's a Honda CRF 450. Picked that up for a really good deal, and had a stretched timing chain. So fixed that, got it all almost together. We got to get some plastics in the tank and seat put back on it. And once that's put together, we'll get that sold off, because that's kind of what I do, guys. I flip bikes. I flip a bunch of stuff, try and get them ready for other people to ride and enjoy them. I don't ever try and screw anybody over, I buy stuff for cheap, fix it, and sell it. It's kind of what I do. I have a day job. I'm a mechanic, so that's what we're doing. But once we get this bike sold, I think we'll be able to get the blower. I think so. We'll have to see where stuff sits. I'm still a 21-year-old kid, trying to make stuff happen in his 2-car garage. But I'm excited to get the transmission back from John's. I think that is going to be awesome. Getting the transmission back from John, That's going to be a huge part of this build, and I can't even stress it enough. Thank you so much, John, for helping us out and getting that transmission rebuilt. It's going to be huge help for this build. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get this thing finished. It was a pretty successful day. Got the 450 running. We're going to get this thing sold, and after we get this thing, we're going to get a blower for the street rod, baby. That's all I got for this time, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully the next time we'll have a blower.